Yo, check me out. This D-1, the one-man army, New Orleans on. And I'm in here kicking it, man, having a good time with my people. Mighty Music Magazine. Make sure you check them out, man. Support them, because they supporting all the artists down here that's doing their thing. Salute. What they really trying to do, yeah. People know I ain't on no games, but I hope they hear me, though. Yeah. Look, my head hurting, my breath funky. A hip-hop artist, but that's just the beginning, you know what I mean? I'm a young black man that's educated, that's focused, that's inspired, you know, to really just enlighten the minds of millions of people, you know, while making beautiful, catchy music for them to vibe to at the same time. So you put all that together, you add a New Orleans twist to it, and you got D-1. When they come home, they gon' say, when this dude popped up. Yeah, I don't think the music itself equals power. I think that, you know, the way in which the music is used to inspire people can obviously equate to power, you know what I mean? Because you can't, like, if I make a song, just a song, like I got a song, One Man Army, you know, that song by itself is not power, but I think it becomes powerful when you hear it or when your little brother hears it and it inspires him to go and do something, you know what I mean? I think people are really the ones who possess the power, you know? And with that being said, the ones who make the music, the artists, the musicians, we really do have power, man. Like, we are each, you know, like on this platform, on this pedestal, on this altar, so to say. So whether you want to call it being equivalent to being a preacher, a leader, a teacher, whatever you call it, man, we are, you know, we are serving that purpose when we're on the microphone. And I know that. I knew that before I started rapping, because I know how they influenced me. And I knew how powerful artists were, because I was wanting to be like them just because of the way they dressed or just because they said something catchy. And a quote that they said, I would write it on the bottom of my book sack, you know what I mean, just because it inspired me. So it was the music that the artists were making that inspired me to want to be more like them. And now that I am an artist, like, I'm not going to shy away from that. I don't mind being looked at as a hero, you know, like that's fine with me to be a hero, but I know the opposite end of that is, if you're a hero to one person, you're probably a villain to the next person. So everybody's not gonna be for the mission that I'm on, and it's not always gonna, you know, rub everyone the right way. It's actually gonna offend some people, because trying to do the right thing is offensive to people who are trying to glorify the wrong things. My message is simple, man. Like, you know, I make music to motivate people and to inspire people to further pursue their own personal mission. So, like, we were all put down here for a purpose, and you only get one life. And while we're down here, we're not just down here randomly to just, you know, survive. Like, too many people are surviving and not living. We actually have a purpose and a mission that each of us is on. So your mission means that you are a one-man army, or if you're a female, you're a one-woman army, you know? And all that means is that you're actively working to fulfill and complete that mission while you're down here on earth. So with my music, I want to make the soundtrack that inspires people to either, one, find what their mission is, or two, if they've found it, just give them the fuel that they constantly need to stay motivated and stay encouraged while they're on their mission. That's the music that I make, is for that, you know? And if for people who found it and strayed off of it, I make that music that get people to get back on that track. Yeah, definitely. That was the days of being Deezy. You're right. That's before D1. I just used to call myself Deezy when I first started rapping, and it was just a real lazy approach to rapping. It's like I knew I had the skills, but with those skills, I didn't take that extra step to say, let me have a purpose for my music and let me really dig within and bring out something that's extra creative. It was just using the skills, the God-given talent I had, but not using it for a godly purpose, you know? And that's what I was doing at first when I started rapping. Like, just rapping about whatever I was used to hearing. So, you know, I would just glorify stuff, acting like I was out here killing people and shooting people, and you would listen to my music and just think that I was out here balling, pushing all these, you know, exotic foreign cars and stuff. I do have a foreign car, but, you know, it's not the most exotic, you know what I'm saying? So that type of stuff. And I think it just clicked to me when I remember when Kanye West came out, man. When Kanye West first really came out with his mixtapes and with the College Dropout album, I was like, man, this is somebody who is selling records, so he's successful, and he not glorifying all this stuff. And if he could do it, I listened to how he was coming, and I was like, you know what, if he could do it, I could do it too. And I remember that standing out to me, and that really partially motivated me. The other thing that motivated me was like my freshman year in college, because that freshman year was a rough year for me. Like, it was a lot of stuff going on that year that was just always giving me a reason to just do this and shake my head and just be depressed, you know, and just feel like, man, like stuff is not working out for me too well. And all that stuff happening at the same time, you know, really inspired me to say, all right, I'm tired of this middle road. I'm either gonna go off the deep end and just really start just living this foolishness and going hard with it, or I'm gonna take the high road and say, let me try to bounce back from this adversity and do something. And I chose the high road, and it hadn't been easy, but it's definitely been fulfilling, you know what I mean? And that translated into my lifestyle and my music, all kind of, you know, going with that purpose in that direction. Favorite body of work it's the most recent one. It's I Hope They Hear Me Volume 2. That's the one that's out right now. And you know, when I put that out, I knew that there was a lot riding on that disc, because the J50 and Weezy single came out.
Chicken the world when your wedding ring. That's right. You know most of these little rappers is wet.
And for anybody watching this, if you hadn't heard that song yet, you know, just go YouTube the video, J50 and Weezy by Dee-1. And when that song came out, it had such a big impact on hip-hop, like worldwide. Like, I started getting fans hitting me up from overseas, places I didn't even know my music was touching. You know, MTV started playing the video. You know, all these people started really rocking with it and co-signing it, and it put a lot of pressure on my back to say, you know what, now that people are checking for me, let me put out a body of work that really, you know, fulfills and meets and exceeds all the expectations that people have for what I could be. Because what I became was like a symbol for people, like a symbol of like, man, if this dude get out there, he gonna do some damage, and he gonna really spit that real and talk that stuff that need to be talked or whatever in a cool way. And that's what they kind of put on my back. So when I put that CD out, you know, the response of the people has dictated to me and told me that I think I met, you know, I fulfilled those obligations and those expectations. So that body of work, I mean, I got to work with one of my childhood heroes on there, Manny Fresh. You know, we put out a real dope single called The One That Got Away. We got a video out for that right now. It's all over the radio, especially down here in New Orleans. So that came from that CD. J50 and Weezy came from that. Other songs that mean a lot to me, like the song Blue that I have, Writer's Block, It's My Turn, I'm On It, featuring my man Shamar. Just a lot of type music came from that CD. So that's my favorite one. And my next favorite is about to be the new one that's about to come out in February, and it's called Mission Vision. So get ready for that. You know, and I only say this with confidence because I've been able to travel a lot over the past 2 years doing music. Like, you know, I used to have a job, so I was a teacher, so I couldn't travel during the week. But now, you know, I do this full time, so I'm able to travel so much. And everywhere I go, man, every city says the same thing about their own city. I was in Dallas, they was like, man, down here, man, nobody look out for nobody. You know what I mean? And like they were just like, man, it's just a crab barrel mentality. In New York, same thing, man. You know why nobody from New York on, son? Cause nobody in New York show love to nobody. Like, they say the same thing no matter where you go. So I feel like that's a great point you made, that the perception is really somewhat outliving the reality of it, because it's really not any different down here than it is in these other cities, which is you got a few people that's in power, and those people in power, you know, they have so much on their mind and so many people coming at them that they pick and choose carefully who they want to look out for, and whoever they don't look out for feels discriminated against, and, you know, it feels like, oh man, like they hating on me or they don't want to see me come up. You know, that's really what it is. And I'm starting to be able to relate to where some people come from, because it's like they had to work hard to carve their own lane and make their own path. So, you know, they're not attracted to people who just coming to them saying, I want a handout. You know what I mean? Like even right now, I'm doing a lot to where if some bigger people wanted to, they could easily reach out and help me out or whatever. But I think they'll feel more comfortable doing that once they feel like, you know what, he grinded enough on his own and he got further enough on his own to where now I don't feel like it's as much of a handout as it is a partnership. You know what I mean? And that's just business. That's what it is. Coming to social media, I definitely feel like people in New Orleans and people everywhere need to understand the importance of having a balanced attack. Like I said, you don't want to be relevant on YouTube and have buku music videos, but then when people look for your Twitter page or your website, you don't have one. You know, you don't want to have, you know, a whole bunch of Twitter followers, but then when people go look for you on YouTube, you don't have any visuals out there. You know what I'm saying? So to have a balanced attack is cool because each crowd is different. Like Facebook, I was on Facebook before I was on any of that stuff because as a college student, Facebook was just something we did. You know, that's just what you do, is you get on Facebook and you look for other people who go to your school or people you went to high school with. You just do that type of stuff. You know, some dudes just exclusively try to holler at females on Facebook. You know, I got a couple friends like that. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, it sound like the camera guys like that too. So, nah, I'm just playing. But, that's you know, that's what it is. I would say have a balanced attack on social media, but have a one place where you could direct people to as well, man. And I think the website, to have a website as an artist, that should be like the home or the foundation for all of that other stuff that you have. Like, they can always be directed back to your website because that's something that you own. That's not you taking up space on somebody else's page, which is Twitter or YouTube or Facebook. Somebody else owns that stuff, but your website, that's something you can put your own unique twist to, you know. This is a little different, straying off from the question, but don't limit yourself to just social media. Like, a lot of people, whenever you do too much of one thing, you tend to neglect the other thing. And one thing that people are starting to lose the importance of is actually being in them streets. You know what I'm saying? Actually being in those streets and meeting with people face to face. And that way, when your name comes up in conversation, people can say, yeah, I met dude. Dang, he gave me a CD. I go through that a lot right now because I planted so many seeds over the years and laid a foundation to where I was out there hustling for myself. Me and my team was out there introducing ourselves to people before the music was even all the way popping, you know what I mean? So now that the music is all the way popping, a lot of those people get to come back and say, dang, I remember meeting you, you know, 4 years ago at that little event in the park where they had like 30 people who was there watching you perform, but you gave everybody CDs and you was cool. Now I saw you on MTV when I was in the barbershop today. Like, that's crazy. And to make them respect that, you know, and then give them a story to tell everybody else, you know. So make sure you balance that street attack with that social media attack. Let's get it understood one more time. The team is what's the right word? It's huge, it's enormous, it's gigantic as far as you know, your success rate as an artist. Like, I did a lot on my own for a long time, and I still do a lot. You know, it's a lot more than just rapping and performing that I do, trust me. But as far as having a team to play specialized roles and help in areas where I'm not that good, or, you know, just help like you know, fill in some gaps that I might have as far as what I'm doing or that I might not have time to do. Like, that team is everything, you know. So I'm actually always looking to like make sure that our team is functioning and communicating the best way possible, and second, looking to expand the team, you know, like in ways that are just gonna make us stronger. Like, that team is so important. So I mean, you know, like anybody who has a great team, you got some people who got a great team and the artist's not even that good, but the team is so great that like people just know the artist and people just feel like the artist is popping because they well represented, you know. You got some artists who are great artists but have absolutely no team, you know what I mean? And I think where I fall at, I'm probably like a real dope artist who has a real good team, but it's a small team, you know what I mean? So in my head, it's always like, if we expand this team, or if we just make the most out of the small team that we are, like, we'll still achieve great results. And it's working so far, you know what I mean? So it's working, you know. I tried to get at these people, Mighty Music, 2 years ago. They said I was cool. They said they couldn't do me no interview. But, you know, me and my team kept grinding, and 2 years later, I'm sitting here, you dig? So that's just how it is. That's because of me and my team grinding, you dig? I'm just playing, by the way. Y'all, make sure y'all pay attention to this post. This is very important. My name is Dee-1, the One Man Army. First and foremost, spell my name right. It's DEE-1, alright? Now, you can find me everywhere, but specifically, if you want to follow me on Twitter, hit me up at Dee-1 Music. That's DEE-1 Music. Follow me on Twitter. Go to my website if you want to copy any of my mixtapes or see any interviews or anything I'm doing. That's D1music.com. DEE-1 music.com. If you want to look me up on YouTube to see all the music videos I got, just search Dee-1, DEE-1. And last but not least, make sure you check out the new disc I'm dropping in February. Shout out to Manny Fresh. He gonna play a very, very big role on that thing as far as production goes, and it's called Mission Vision. Get ready. Yo, this is Dee-1, the One Man Army, and you already know, man, I'm kicking it. I just had a real good time kicking it with my partners, MightyMusic.com. Believe that.
Different cities, different hoods. Same struggle, though, it's already understood.